The UFC just dropped a couple fights recently, and I was looking at all of them, guys. Such weird combos, man. Such a cheesy mix, and some of them are kind of trash. I look at them, I'm deeply pissed. I want to just take Hunter's spot and make some fights a breezy fix. But like combing through a knotted hair, cause these just gonna be easy picks. Yeah, baby, yeah! Brother, this all my life I do this, brother. All my life rapping. Nah, guys, for real though, some of these fights are great. Like on the screen's great. I'm gonna get into all of these. But some of them I'm like, I just can't be asked about. Like, I actually can't. No, I'm being that I just can't be asked about. Exhibit A. Like, I just can't. Brother, what? Brother, who this guy? Ronaldo Moicano versus Chris Duncan. We're going to start off with this one because it's one of those ones I'm like, I just don't care about. Guys, this is a headliner. This is a headliner. The meta Apex. Not the regular Apex, guys. This is the meta. You know, meta means we're going to throw meta in front of it and just make it more badass. This fight's dumb. This fight's dumb, bro. Like, first of all, this is an easy pick. Like, all these are easy picks to me. Most of them, at least. There's some fights that got announced, I believe, today. We're going to talk about too. But fights like this are so easy to pick. Like, Moicano is out of it, man. His most impressive accolade in his last couple fights has been shadow punching the air, but Islam falling. Like, him just punching the air and Islam tripping. I'm like, oh, my God, we dropped Islam. That was his most impressive feat since forever. He's garbage to me. Even his performance against BSD is overrated to me as well. Yeah, he looked good, but this is an easy win for Chris Duncan. Like, I'm almost 1,000% sure Chris Duncan goes in there and nearly kills him. Like, he hurts him bad. Like, I'm not even worried about who, like, Moicano having a fighting chance. This is just how bad Chris Duncan's gonna win. And I look at Chris Duncan. He's been on some good momentum. He's been riding. He has a good win streak going on right now, but this fight's just not competitive. And as someone who's, I don't want to brag, I'm the only YouTuber right now who's 5 for 5 and never got a main event wrong. I told you guys, I'm not getting a single main event wrong this year, and I mean it. So all these main events you're going to see, like, these are my early picks. They might change, but I'll tell you right now, this one's not going to change. Unless some injury happens and it makes me look at other things. But this is pretty much set in stone. Chris Duncan, easy win. You know, and I'm not saying fall my main event picks. Only if you want to go 100%. You know, I know I'm too smart to live with handsome guy. Brother, I know this all my life. So I know Chris Duncan's going to nearly beat the brakes out of him. Like, Moicano needs to retire, man. Like, the Show Me the Money podcast, like, they both need to retire. And Exhibit B. This one, see, on paper, dude, badass, man. Gilbert Burns, Mike Mallott. First of all, I think Mike Mallott blows. I think he's such an overrated prospect, but I feel like since he's Canada's only prospect for real, they have to kind of push him a little bit. Then I look at Gilbert Burns. He's so bad. I know he got size mocked, but Ken, he's losing to great people. Burns just has quit in him. Like, Burns just has the ability that he'll quit when push comes to shove. Now, I know Mike Mallott is not that good to me. Mike Mallott has skills. He just lacks urgency and lacks killer instincts, I feel like, honestly. But neither guy in this one is sticking off the page to me. But I am very confident in Mike Mallott getting it done. Goes back to my narrative. Show Me the Money podcast. These guys all not good, brother. Gilbert Burns is past his time. Moicano's past his time. Burns is going to probably go in there, give a good little first 3 minutes, and then eventually he'll fatigue. His takedowns are probably not going to do him justice. He can probably try to take down Mallott and hold him there, which could actually work to an extent. But I really feel like Mallott's a little bit too game for that. And I feel like Mallott, even though he's not as hyped up because he had a loss, there's a point where he's like, oh, he's the next best thing. I never was really on that hype train, but he did look promising at a point. Burns is going to try to beat you up for the first 3 minutes. He might succeed a little bit. But once Burns gets tired, guys, it's just, what does Burns really show us when he's tired? He shows us, all right, I give you a good 3 minutes, now beat me up. He has like the Michael Chandler effect. It said he's not as wild. But of course, Burns, like the JDM thing looks good for him because he nearly beat him without that knockout. But even now it's a little bit ago, and even that, it's like JDM's takedown defense a little bit when you shoot a single leg on him. But yeah, for this one, I really think it's easy for Mallott to win this one as well. This is also a main event. Bro, this is not even a pair. This is like a UFC. Where they going? Winnipeg. Brother, they just naming fake things. I'm assuming that's Canada. Winnipeg. What the hell is a Winnipeg? I listen, I never heard of Winnipeg, but I just know it's Canada because Mike Mallott's not main eventing any other way. And then, yeah, Burns is not getting a main event unless he's fighting someone else in their home state who's a prospect. This card has to be bad. If this main eventing, bro, I'm sorry, because Canadian cards always just have shitters. No offense to Canada, bro. Yeah, we the people. I don't even know your national anthem over there, but I just feel like Canada lacks prospects, and this is Exhibit A because you're having someone like this guy headline. He's the show, the star of the show against Gilbert Burns, 39-year-old Gilbert Burns. She bad, brother. Move on from this. I'm done talking about this. I do think Mike Mallott gets it done in front of his home crowd, and everyone says he's the next best thing because he beat an old wash Gilbert Burns. Now we're talking about some things like, let's actually talk about good, interesting topics. Sean Brady, Buckley. Let me tell you why this is the best thing to happen to each of them. For Sean Brady, you got power mogged. You got like explosivity mogged. You got size mogged. You know, Joaquin Buckley's the next best thing to get you out of that shell of I just cowered away. To this day, I was really thinking he was gonna beat Morales, but brother, he lacked the inner fighter because he got size mogged. Now I know Buckley's not huge, but Buckley has fought at middleweight. And he's explosive and he's a power puncher, which I'm happy for, you know, because Morales was kind of just swinging at air and he was getting so nervous, like, oh, I'm too scared. Buckley's going to swing at air too. Buckley's going to swing at air more than you probably expected him to swing at air, you know. And then for Buckley, you just got wrestle fucked by Usman. This is the perfect stylistic matchup for you. So I really feel like both of these guys need this. Buckley needs to prove that I'm not going to just get held down and humped by someone who's better at wrestling than me. And Sean Brady needs to prove that I'm not going to let a power puncher intimidate me and get me off my game. I really believe Sean Brady should have beat Morales. Now, should I die on that hill? I guess it's going to figure out if I'm going to die on that hill depending on how this fight goes. I just don't think Brady should ever fold like that again as a grown-ass, keep in mind, grown-ass man. Like, this guy pays his bills and shit. He should not be intimidated by another grown man. I understand the size was intimidating, but he really should have went in there and just imposed his grappling style like he did against Leon Edwards and just shoot early. Shoot early. Listen, not a panic shot when you're getting a fucking overhand lunge at your face and you're panicking. Oh, come here. Like that, the little turn your head and try to grab a hold of someone. Those shots aren't real. I hate when people do that. He looked so scared in that fight. Like, he initially came off on the back foot. Once I saw that happen, I was like, okay. Like, when he does that, man, at least a Bilal breaking him in the striking, and then, of course, Morales broke him in the striking. It's just, have confidence in your grappling, man. And once he does, I feel like he's one of the best fighters in the world. I actually thought stylistically he could be very tough for some people like Islam, you know, and then he goes out there and shits the bed. Honestly, I don't think his boxing is that bad. He was, to be fair, people aren't going to know this, but he actually was tagging up Morales pretty good in that fight. Like, he would land some 1-2s. But, like, he got too, I don't know if he got confident striking or he just, like, it's kind of working, so let me keep to it. That's your biggest mistake. You know, hope against Buckley is not trying to see, like, oh, maybe my 1-2s are going to keep working. Let me keep doing it. Because eventually with Buckley, even someone as defensively responsible as Wonderboy, we know how annoying that kickboxing point style fighting is because they're so hard to hit. Buckley eventually tracked down Wonderboy. So, like, you can't just stand with Buckley and, like, hope to, like, knock him out, you know. And this is a main event, so it's 5 rounds. So it's going to show both guys. Both guys been 5 rounds. I'm pretty sure. Has Brady been 5 rounds, though? I know Buckley's been 5 rounds against Usman, even though half of it was getting mauled. He didn't win the last round. So show me he has heart. Buckley's not, nigga said hurt. Buckley has heart. So he's not going to just get wrestled. Even if he gets wrestle fucked, he'll keep coming. He'll keep swinging. Pause. But he'll keep swinging. And until the final bell. And with Sean Brady, it's like, he just better come on game. Like, this is an early prediction for this one. I don't want to say any. I have to do film work on this one because I feel like they contradict each other's weaknesses in a way where I do have to do some good film work. Right now, off rip, I will say I am leaning Sean Brady. I will have to say I'm leaning Sean Brady. Like, but this is a fight I know I have to do film work in because Sean Brady does cower away at times in the feet. But when Sean Brady trusts his grappling, he's one of the best in the world, man. And then Buckley was riding some good momentum. You know, Buckley lost to Usman, but Usman's also a different beast. I do think Usman's physically a little bit stronger than Sean Brady. But I will say that Sean Brady has more weapons when he gets someone like Buckley down. Maybe he could submit him there. You know, so it's an interesting fight. I am going to say I'm leaning Sean Brady because Buckley when Buckley went against someone who has, like, takedowns, you know, with intent, he lost. The thing is, Sean Brady shits the bed and pulls a Kobe Covington and shoots half-ass takedowns like he did against Morales. He would just lose to Buckley, and I know he will. This one's annoying because, like, oh, man, this is one of those ones that could actually affect my 100% rate because I feel like Sean Brady should make it easy. Not make it easy, but he should get it done, but I don't know if Sean Brady thinks he could get it done. And if Sean Brady doesn't think he's going to get it done, why should I? You know, why should I? I don't know, man. I don't fucking know, mate. But Sean Brady's a dog. Buckley's a dog. If Buckley wins, it makes Usman look better too. I don't know what Usman's going to be doing while this is happening, but I actually like this headline. This is a Vegas. This is more likely to headline a better card. Like, this should be in the Apex. or Vegas, and this should be somewhere. I don't know where, like maybe Chirac. I don't know. This should be headlining something bigger. This is a pretty big fight for the welterweight weight class, honestly. I think it lets a lot of people know where everyone else is in the division. Both guys losing to people who are like arguably next to the title. Morales arguably next to the title. Usman in the talks with Islam. So this is definitely big for the welterweight division. I am happy it's main eventing and headlining, but it could be on a better card. It could be like something on a main card of like a really good card, but I don't know what they're doing with this. But I do like the placement of this. Should headline definitely if it's going to be a fight night. And I like this. Interesting fight and the most competitive, I feel like, out of all the announcements. Next up, of course, the Battle of the Youngsters, man. A combined age of 50 years old. Under 50, I believe Van's 24, Taira's 25. Young guys, man. And this is one of those fights that I don't think I saw coming. Like, I thought it was going to be Manil, but apparently Manil just didn't want it as much as Joshua Van. Like, Joshua Van said yes to Manil, and then Manil was like, maybe later and something like that. So then it ends up being these two at UFC 327. This is not going to be headlining, but it's a good fight. Now, I'll say this about this. Stylistically, they kind of contradict each other as well. Joshua Van, the thing is with this one, though, I watched Taira go against Royval, and he did good in the grappling, don't get me wrong, but Taira showed me something so concerning. Like, when he was forced to stand with Royval, guys, he didn't know what head movement was. Like, there's one thing not using it, but I don't think he actually knew how to move his head. Like, it was weird because he was getting hit. And, like, I almost felt bad for him. I'm like, oh, my God, he's so inexperienced. Like, I saw the inexperience in that fight. And going 5 rounds with someone like Royval's output is just hell. Guess who has the same output as Royval, if not more, with crazier stamina and crazier forward pressure? Joshua Van. Now, I would be concerned of Joshua Van if I didn't watch him go against a next-level, next-gen Japanese grappler in Rei Tsuruya. Tsuruya and Taira, they're like that next generation of Japanese grapplers who just know how to go in there and dominate in the grappling in some slick ways. Like, look at Tsuruya. Some of Tsuruya's takedowns on Van were just clean as hell, and like, I've never seen those techniques. Same with Taira. I see a lot of similarities in that, but the thing is, Tsuruya couldn't keep him down, so he was getting brutalized and pressured. I know Van's going to be on that front foot. I actually don't think this fight's that close. I can't lie. I do think Van might put on a masterclass against Taira. I do want Taira to be a future champ. It's just tough in this division. I would be happy if whoever wins, because I am a huge Van guy and I am a huge Taira guy. But it's like Taira's dominant grappling style is like, if he can't get you down, he just looks like he's lost on the feet. And that's like the worst thing to happen against like a Joshua Van, because Van will really put it on you. Like, he's just like Royval. Like, you give him time to strike, he'll put it on you, but he's better at striking than Royval. And I actually think his defensive wrestling is better than Royval. I really do think so. I think he defends takedowns better, more intelligently. I did pick Joshua Van to beat Pantoja, and I think that's a harder stylistic fight than this one, because I feel like Pantoja on the feet still comes with juggernaut pressure and brawls as well, and then mixing the takedowns, whereas Taira on the feet's a little bit more in and out, uses a lot more energy, fatigues quicker, and just can't keep that for 25 minutes, unlike Pantoja. So this is an easier fight than Pantoja. I think he's a more dynamic grappler than Pantoja and can show Van different things in the grappling, but I just don't see Taira finishing Van, man. I don't, man. Taira shocked me his last fight, dude. That was a good finish by him, but I do think Joshua Van is just a little bit different. He's going to be on the front. You got to be on the front foot with Taira. You can't just try to give him space in the striking, or you could just get taken down and choked out. I believe that was Royval who got done bad, but yeah. I think it's an easy one for Joshua Van. I am very hyped to see both these guys. Like I said, both youngsters represented for the young guys, 2002 and under, over party or whatever, or under whatever. My boys they're like my generation. They feel like my classmates fighting, So these are my guys. I'm rooting for both of them, but I do think it's an easy one for Joshua Van. Now, for these fights, people probably don't know about these fights, but these just got announced by the UFC. So let's go through each of them. First up, the battle of the no chins, Okay, we got Reyes and Walker. Good light heavyweight bout. I like this one. These are all for 327, by the way. That's the card we just saw with Joshua Van and Taira. Here's the thing about this, guys. I don't think this fight's close. I don't think this is close. I think Reyes is gonna nearly kill him in there. I think Reyes is gonna beat him pretty comfortably. I think Johnny Walker's all right. Like, he has power. But Reyes, like, he'll catch you coming in if you're a gooper. I remember Uzdemir. Was it Uzdemir? No, Krylov. Krylov thought he could just walk him down and got caught. He tried to be a go-getter and got. One thing about Dominic Reyes, if you're trying to be a go-getter, you might got. And I think Johnny Walker's a little bit so irresponsible in his defensive striking, and how offensively, how he strikes a little bit too obvious. So I do think I do think Walker's going to get chin. It is a bad, like, I do think Walker could take a punch. No, he can't. But I do think, no, he can't. Reyes can take a punch. It just depends at the angle and the frequency and the demographic of the analogy of when the punch is coming. But typically, I think Reyes can take a punch better. And I think Reyes hits harder as well. So I do think I favor Reyes pretty comfortably in that one. Next up, we have this one is like, Jesus Christ. There's so much one-sided fights, guys. Like I said at the beginning, guys, easy picks. This is an easy pick. This is like the easiest pick of all time. Azamat Murzakanov versus Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa going up to light heavyweight. We've seen him fight at light heavyweight before when he missed weight and actually fight Marvin Vettori at 205. He lost to Marvin Vettori at 205. Okay, like that should tell you enough. This one is like, I'm worried for Paulo Costa's health. I don't know the odds for this one, but I feel like minus 1,000 will be justified. And that sounds crazy. Like if it's under minus 500, I might put the bends I just bought on Azamat. I'm not even trolling. I'm being dead ass because like if I hope to God for some reason they're picking or something so I can make a boatload of money. But this one almost makes no sense. But if Paulo Costa wins, he's suddenly in the light heavyweight title picture. He must have went up because he thinks he has a chance at light heavyweight, but these guys just hit with a different frequency. Like Costa's not good. His most impressive thing was Kovalev, and Kovalev didn't want to fight. Azamat is gonna kill him. I think Azamat by knockout is a sure done deal. I think he's gonna sleep Costa in the worst way possible. This is almost like a atomic bomb versus a coughing baby. Like this is legitimately how I feel when I think of one-sided beatdowns. I actually don't know if anyone in the world thinks Costa has a chance. Maybe someone does, but can he did Costa? Who does that's Kopolov? Yeah, you might be right, a little bit handsome, strong, right? But I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. So I got Azamat by nearly killing him. Next one. This one's interesting, Curtis Blaydes versus Josh Hockett. Of course, they're both going to be relying on their wrestling. Hockett has been showing, man, he can wrestle. And his hands look quick. He used a lot of energy in his last fight, but he gets it done in the first round because the guy kind of quit afterwards. But it's interesting, man. I don't know, like... Because if he tires against Blaydes will probably just get him out of there. But I think he's going to try to chase a quick finish with Blaydes. Blaydes lost to Jailton Almeida last, I believe. Yeah, he did. I know it was a win, but he lost. And then, Hockett looks better right now via eye test. I know we can't really compare the level of opposition, but this puts Hockett in a position to, damn near fight for the belt very soon, which I feel like is actually appropriate to do. Heavyweight's lackluster. Tai Tuivasa is still ranked. Tai Tuivasa, I don't even know if he is, but no joke, I bet he will still be ranked. We have some shitters in the rankings, man. So we do need to move the rankings into someone decent. So this is a good unranked fight or ranked fight for Hawkage, and it's a good unranked opponent for Curtis Blaydes because winning against this guy, I still think does some good things to Curtis Blaydes because via eye test, we got an eye test off Hawkage because, like I said, the competition isn't comparable, but Hawkage is pretty damn good if you look at him, and I actually think he's good enough to beat Curtis Blaydes. Still early days, still early prediction, but right now, without watching footage, I am leaning Hawkage off of how good he looked in his last fight. In contrast, Blaydes kind of got outworked by Jailton Almeida, but got given a win, which is a little bit weird. So I think Hawkins gets it done for that one. Then last but not least, we got Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown. Battle of the tall, lanky black dudes, both 6'4", I believe. I throw me in there, I'll blend right in. Welterweight, eh? Brown's been at 185 before, same with Holland. Now they're both at 170 for this one. This one's an interesting one, but I think it's a pretty easy win for Randy Brown. Randy Brown's striking is a little bit cleaner than Kevin Holland. He picks his shots a little bit better. I think it's a pretty easy pick for Randy Brown, but I've seen crazier things. But I do think he goes in there and lands on Holland, maybe gets Holland out of there. Holland shows up to fight every time, but he shows up to kind of fight for a check. If Holland gets it done early, he'll get it done early, but I don't think Holland cares enough to lose. Winning or losing, there's some fighters winning or losing, they just don't give a shit because they're just making money. Holland's one of them, but he's going to definitely chase the 100K bonus, win or lose. He's going to chase fight of the night, or he's going to chase the finish. And same with Randy Brown. Randy Brown, man, when he's on, though, he's on. And he uses his longer weapons better than Holland. He's a lot more like Holland would throw and be kind of flangy and flingy and just lanky. Whereas I feel like when Brown throws, he's a little bit more clear cut, more accurate and with more umph behind his kicks, his leg kicks specifically, and his straight punches. So I think Randy Brown gets it done. But those are all the new announcements that we just got. I believe this was today. Let me know what you guys think about these picks. I think right now, if I had to take a guess, I'm getting 100% on everything I said so far. These are still early picks, but honestly, I think that I don't think I'm going to change much. Maybe one of them, like I said, there's some I do still got to do footage work on, but outside of that, I think I'm pretty confident. This is really the only one, guys, I think I have to do some work on, which is Sean Brady versus Buckley. But outside of this one, easy pickings for the rest of them. But let me know what you guys think about these fights down below. That's it for me. God bless. 2, 3.